You're live. Wow. How exciting, guys. This is my first live on YouTube ever. Isn't that exciting? Now, there's 0 people here, so I imagine everyone's busy at 8 PM on Thursday, Eastern Coast time. But I don't know. I kinda wanted to do this as an experiment just to see who watches my channel, guys. Like, there's, like, 7,400 of you, and, only, like, 100 of you have been showing up, like, consistently, so who are you? I know like 5 of you on Instagram, maybe 6 or 7 actually, but that's it. So, yeah, we got a viewer. Oh, wow, good job. Good job finding the the live stream. If you wanna write something in the chat, go for it. Um, I kinda wanted to like, where are you from and stuff. I kinda wanted to just, like, talk to whoever shows up about, like, just what I'm up to right now, maybe how this year has progressed, like, the evolution of what I've been up to. And, yeah, I got some cool events going on, so I wanna talk about all of that. Now, for you, both of you guys for both of you guys, we'll start off with this. Tomorrow, I'm flying out to Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm going to see Sadhguru. That's right. The illustrious Master Sadhguru. If you don't know him, somehow he's got a huge organization called Isha, and it's full of like volunteers, and they do like not only service work, but obviously tons of yoga classes. And so I've been a fan of Sadhguru for years. I've read a handful of his books. Big fan, particularly Midnights with the Mystic. It's on that shelf there. And yeah, I actually went to his first inner engineering event, like, September 2016, I wanna say, like, right when he unleashed that program in that book. I went to Boston with my friend and my sister. It was kind of like a pre-birthday gift for me, and, yeah, so we saw him there. I got his inner engineering book, and that began the cycle. Now 7 years later, I'm going to see him in person again in Georgia. And this is for his Shambhavi Mahamudra program. And this is kind of like his proprietary technique. What's up, third person? Welcome to the channel. Feel free to write in the chat, guys. Um, his Shambhavi Mahamudra program. And yeah, so this is, if you've heard of his inner engineering program, it's kind of like a 7-day online thing where you learn um, I don't know, it's kind of like his proprietary like discourse about wisdom teachings, like rules for life. Not rules for life, but kind of like he kind of lightly guides the audience into the non-dual frame, like the way that you would be if you were enlightened. So he does that in a very gentle, logical, progressive way. It was very enjoyable. You have to watch this. You have to complete this first half before you get to do the inner engineering completion, which is this technique that I'm going to check out. So so I'm flying out tomorrow, and the actual event is 2 days. It's Saturday and Sunday. And yeah, the actual technique is 20 minutes long, I think, to like actually complete it. So I don't know what the other like 16 hours of event is going to be like, but I'm super excited. I think the hotel I'm staying at is going to be popping. There's going to be a lot of like spiritual seekers from all over there, so that I expect that vibe to be very cool. And I'm going to meet up with a friend too who actually lives near Atlanta. So we're going to do some like social media blog type stuff while we're there as a side bonus. But she's actually not going to the event. She's just, happens to be in the area. So yeah, that's the Sadhguru event. I'm hoping that the technique is going to accelerate not only my spiritual progress, but also the healing work that I've been doing. So yeah, I want to get into that as well. That's one of the that's one of the key pieces of this year that you guys need to know about. Um yeah, so while I was in India, 2017, I went to Bangalore. I don't know if you watched that video with I talk about the Sudarshan Kriya. And so what this is, while I was in Bangalore, I went to this Art of Living program. It's facilitated by Ravi Shankar, who's who's pretty big in Bangalore because he has a huge ashram like in the outskirts of the city. And I don't know if you know this, but ashrams aren't just like a building, like a hut, like a mosque or something. It's I guess it actually can encompass like an entire campus of the facilities. So yeah, you have your main meditation hall. It's called Vishalakshi Mantap. It's beautiful. I have some photos on Instagram, I think, way back. But yeah, it's beautiful. I highly recommend it if you go to Bangalore. Definitely check this out. But it's a whole campus. There's like a mess hall. There's a gurukul where like it's an alternative school. Like you can send your kids to like have a spiritual upbringing, like with a guru, learning the scriptures, chanting, waking up at 4 a.m. And like meditating, obviously. And like that would be your child's education instead of like K through 12. Oh, here's beginners mathematics, here's English and whatever. I don't know. I'm sure they still learn how to read and write, but like I don't know. I think that'd be kind of awesome. Yogananda actually did the same thing. I don't know if you've read Autobiography of a Yogi, but that's literally what he established. I forget what he called it, but I don't know. It was like school for like advanced, I don't know, spiritual kids. I don't know. So yeah, that was a great trip. I definitely plan on going back to India someday, and especially visiting the family that I stayed with. It was my friend's parents, so like grandparents' generation, and they have like the last house in Bangalore. It's kind of exciting. It's kind of very cool. You got all these skyscrapers up around them, and they're just like this small little, mm, yeah, like a nice one-story house, like in the midst of all that. It's kind of awesome. And yeah. So anyway, case in point, I went to. Oh, we got some stuff in the chat here. What's up, Amber? Welcome. Yeah. Well, basically, yeah, you're like, I mean, you're learning how to be a functional adult before entering the world at all by going to these gurukuls. Like, think about that. How many of us are just like, we wake up at like age 18, age 30, all these different points in our life, and we're like, I don't know who I am. And also, I'm very bad at socializing. Uh, and I have toxic traits, and I don't know what I want to do. So doing this kind of school would kind of amend that. You become functional as a human being before going out into the world. And it's kind of like, why not? Because how many of us actually benefit or enjoy everything we learn from the K through 12? You know? So some of us do. I did. I enjoyed it. I went hard in school and I went to college and I really gained a lot from learning all of that. That contributed to my character development. But no, yeah, I don't know. So anyway, though, the Sudarshan Kriya, that is a breath technique. It's a proprietary breath technique, pranayama, taught by Ravi Shankar. Now, it wasn't him himself in person. It was actually, subsidiary teachers. And so it's a whole program, though. Like they teach you the art of living. They teach you how skillful mindsets for living your best life, YOLO, right? And but the crown jewel is this kriya, this energetic technique, and it's 3 rounds of different types of pranayama, and it takes about half an hour to complete. But I've been doing that every day for like the last 20 days. I got to check my calendar and see how long it's been. But I stopped doing it when I first got home, like 2017, and for whatever reason, because my health was garbage, right? And I was like, I feel like I can't even do this breath work without harming my diaphragm or something. So I was like, nope, we're not doing that. And I really wish I did because I picked it up again this year, and it's so that you don't burn out as easily. That's one thing that you'll notice. Yeah, more solid energy throughout the day, and I have been noticing health improvements as well. I have been doing like several other things on the side as well. But that thing definitely has had an impact. So I highly recommend you guys do breath work of some kind. Learn the Sudarshan Kriya. They have art of living programs here in America that you can do. So just look up the website and you can find one. Actually, this leads me into my next point. Oh, who's that? Luke? Yo, Jay, what's up? That's my uncle. And then Luke Nakahara. Wow. Okay, Japanese from North Texas. Right on, dude. Okay, cool. 7 viewers. All right. Now it's a party. um, yeah, so what I was saying, that leads me into my next cool thing that I started this year. And that is, what was my train of thought? Okay, whatever. So, okay, no, I picked it up again. Yeah, so I've been going to my local Zen center called the Providence Zen Center. I live in Rhode Island, and the Providence Zen Center is actually in Cumberland now. I think it used to be literally in Providence. But yeah, so I actually went to this kind of meditation place. It's not a facility. That's the wrong word. That sounds like you're making like canned meat or something. It's but it's not just like a single room and it's not a building. You know what I mean? It's like a meditation hall sort of residence type thing where you can become a monk and, or just like meditate every evening with people with the head monks there. And so I started going to this place before COVID. I popped in a few Sundays, checked out the scene, did the meditations. It was great. 3 years later, I finally went back for the first time, like, I don't know, 2 months ago, maybe. And I started going regularly. And this has been helping me a lot because it's actually difficult for me to meditate by myself, just like in my house. I don't know about you, but it's very difficult to actually meditate indoors. Probably because it's silent and like the energies are kind of pressing in on you. So it kind of tends towards lethargy and a lack of inspiration and a lack of focus, at least for me. I don't know about you guys. Maybe you put on music, maybe that doesn't happen to you, but if you're outdoors or meditating with other people, I think it gives you that like that sense of energy, that sense of like showing up for the party. I don't know how to phrase it. Like you're in school, you got to behave for the teacher, like that kind of thing. Um, it's helped me out a lot to have that sort of community. So yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to mention. And it's really cool. I don't know how many of you guys live in Rhode Island, but I would definitely recommend hitting it up. It's you can meditate every evening there. You can meditate in the morning with the monks too. But on the weekend, a lot of people show up, and it's kind of fun. You do two sitting sessions, and you do a walking session in between, and then afterwards, there's like a head monk or a guest speaker that will do a Dhamma talk for another hour after that. And then you can walk around through the forest on the grounds as well, which I did last time. I might make a vlog of the footage I took. If anyone's interested, I don't know. But yeah, so Zen Center. And the reason I brought that up, I just remembered, is that there was an Art of Living program there while I was last Sunday. There just happened to be like one in the main meditation hall. We were kicked out. We had to go upstairs. And I didn't realize it's because this program was happening down there. But what is going on in the chat here? Use breath. Try to breathe into my emotions. That's a good tactic. I have tried that before. Um, but kind of like in my aura. I like breathed through my aura above my head to kind of like try to like dissipate anger. That's kind of how I worked with it in that way. But Amber says I like my meditation I like my meditation canned so I can save it for later. Non-perishable meditation. Ooh, that's good. That's like Saint Paul. I don't know if you've read the New Testament scriptures, but one of his favorite words is imperishable. That's like a common Christian word you'll see. But yeah, no, that fits perfectly with the enlightenment paradigm, the meditation paradigm. We want to become imperishable. We want to become eternal. We want to become the deathless. So, yeah, can your meditation, Amber. Keep going with that. That's good. Go to a Braves game in Rhode Island. Where do they live? Where do the Braves live? I don't know. Oh, you mean in Georgia? I don't know baseball, man. Yeah, I am basically St. Paul. To the Corinthians. No, I think that's why my mom named me that actually. But yeah, so Sadhguru event for all y'all who are late, all four of you. I don't know. Sadhguru event, flying out tomorrow. Um, doing some blog work, social media work with a friend there. The Sudarshan Kriya, I picked that up again. That's a key point. Zen Center. Cool. All right. What else is on my list? My to-do list. Oh yeah. So there's tons of stuff, guys. All right. So the podcast. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the podcast, but I'm having a great time with that. Interviewing tons of cool people. I have a list of folks that I want to get around to, seeing if they want to hop on. The most recent one was Tyler Ellison. He is the channeler for Ryo, who is one of the Sasani aliens, just like Bashar. And I presume the vast majority of you know who Bashar is. So, yeah, no, he's a really cool guy. I had a great conversation with him. I was planning on going to New York City with him or just like meeting him there, not with him. But there's Montauk Chia event there. And he's like a huge Taoist leader. What does that say? We're here for spirituality, not sports. That's right. Correct. Percent. Kyoto. Yeah, awesome, dude. I gotta hit that up someday. I've been watching I'm a big fan of Abroad in Japan. Chris Broad all these years and his footage from Kyoto, like all those temples that he visits, are awesome. Obviously, you got to hit it when there's no tourists somehow, if that's possible. But you know, I'll still go anyway. But yeah, so we'll do a Japan Odyssey someday, man, for sure. And okay, what I was saying, yeah, the podcast. So Montauk Chia, yes, New York City. So he's doing like a Tao healing seminar there next weekend. And I was kind of like travel crazed. I was like, let's just like do everything. Let's go from Georgia. Let's let's take the Acela Express train down to New York City next weekend and just keep like doing all these crazy events. But it wasn't in the cards. The synchronicity for that fell apart. But the core idea is there. The universe kept like throwing New York City synchronicities at me, so I was like, yeah, this must be like destined for me to do. But clearly, not at the moment. I will get back to it though, because I really want to see Cleopatra's Needle in Central Park. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys are into Taoism or Daojia, kind of like the religion of it, if you so to speak. But I've been I've been kind of getting into that stuff since our podcast with Tyler, and mostly with qigong. I started up qigong, investigating Tavia Feng. I don't know if that's how you say his name, Tavia Feng, but he's got the White Tiger Qigong School. It's pretty big. He's helped like a lot of prize fighters actually like win their UFC matches. But anyway, I've been toying with qigong, my own sort of style, as another healing modality to add to my tool belt besides the pranayama. And it's actually been really effective, I want to say. It's kind of given me a lot of insight into not just how energy in the body flows, but also like how to apply the qigong to real life situations, I guess you could say, other aspects of your own life. Um, because the key is you're kind of you're kind of like gathering up your energy, kind of like a Dragon Ball Z character. And and I realized like so what you're doing is you're kind of like visualizing inertia in some kind of way to sort of store up the energy within your body, kind of like a capacitor in electrical engineering. You're gathering up the voltage, and it's like slow fighting, right? Like if you're doing a fight in slow motion, you can really start feeling the energy build up in your body, and it's kind of like that. And you can direct it for healing purposes. So that's what I've been doing. All right, what is Reiki originated in Japan? Yes, it did. That's what I've heard. I believe the guy's name was Usui, right? But he was like on a mountaintop, and then it like was revealed to him from above. Yeah, very cool. I'd love to like talk to that guy if he's still around. Go to the Coca-Cola Museum. Jay, are these ideas for Georgia, like Atlanta? I don't know if I have time for that. I've got like No, I got Friday evening free. Maybe I do have time for that. I don't know. I was just gonna hang around the hotel, eat some peanuts, and like get into the meditative zone for the Sadhguru event because I want to go hard. I want to be meditative the whole way through. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So podcast Mantak Chia, the Qigong for health and meditation. I definitely recommend checking that out, especially if you guys are like restless with meditation. Try out Qigong. It's kind of like it's not only good for the energetics of it, but it's also good as like a meditation prep because it forces you to not give in to the restlessness that you might be feeling in the background of your being. And then maybe after that, you stand to prayer, actually doing proper zazen afterwards. So you can try that out too. All right, list time. How you guys doing? Is this interesting? I don't know. It's just me talking for 20 minutes. Is this what people do on YouTube? El Nino, nice content. Um, I can't read that from far away. De Don Juan. Oh, Toltec wisdom. Okay. Enseñanza de Don Juan. Okay, I haven't heard of Toltec wisdom. I've heard of the Toltecs, though. The Toltecs, the Olmecs, the Maya, the Aztec, and so on. It's actually a dream of mine to like kind of uncover like forgotten or lost like Mayan lore like that. Like Nahuatl language and whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I want to do an expedition to Central America someday and like kind of see if we can find some like lost Atlantean Mayan stuff. But yeah, the Toltec wisdom, I think actually you might be are you talking about like the four agreements? Because I believe Don Miguel Ruiz, if that's his name, I believe he actually frames it as being Toltec wisdom, like the type of wisdom that he purveys in that book. So that's interesting. Okay, right on. We'll get to that. Don't worry. We're gonna find out why they loved Venus so much in that culture, and we're gonna find out what happens in long count number 14. I believe that's what we're in now. 13. Well, it's the 13th Baktun, but now we're counting up. We're in the 14th age, I think. Anyway, yeah. Okay, The Journey Home. Great book. Okay, the alchemy technique. Zen. We went through the Zen thing. Oh yeah. Okay. Tell you what. So, oh, sweet. Yeah, this is super important. So, I just finally started up a spiritual coaching service, guys. Okay, it's been a long time coming. I've been going hard on YouTube this whole time, the best I could, and the algorithm has been unforgiving to me, lads. Lads. I don't know why I called you that. Kind of like I'm talking to like a troop of Vikings or something. My Viking troops. The algorithm has been unkind to me. So finally, at this point in the game, I should have got the signs earlier on, but I was so passionate about like talking about all these books and kind of explaining like what the spiritual wisdom actually means that I was just like, yeah, you know what? Maybe this next video is going to be the one that like pops off. And it never happened. So once I finished this Silence of the Heart video with Robert Adams, the non-duality book, I was just like, all right, guys, we got to get on to better, more efficient horizons here. And so I was like, yeah, let's start doing one-on-one coaching. And I don't feel ready to do that per se because like I don't possess all of the knowledge like off the top of my head, and that's kind of my biggest concern. But I know it comes to mind when it's needed. So, I'm confident in my ability to fulfill that service. So, yeah, check it out. I'll link it's on my website, odysseyunderground.com, and you can go to the services page and see what I've got going on there. And yeah, so I'm super excited about that. I took actually a free class with Victor Odo and Aaron Dowdy and someone else named Matt Schaefer, who I never heard of. But they offered this awesome program called the Full Time Purpose accelerator. And so Victor's been doing full-time purpose as a side channel for ages, but this is like a package program that they did for free. Like tons of people joined, like 8,000, I think. And it was kind of like to just as a pilot to see how people liked it, to get testimonials, feedback, everything like that. But it was kind of awesome. I met tons of people, and like through the Facebook group, like everyone was like connecting with each other's Instagrams and YouTubes and very supportive. And obviously the content that those guys brought forth was very helpful. It helped me like finally get this thing going. And yeah, so I'm super glad I tried that out. And yeah, I don't know. Some of the people who added my channel, maybe they're watching right now. I don't know. But what's going on in the chat here? The most powerful teachers are still students. Yeah, for real. It's true. Like just because you're enlightened, like if you get to that level, I've noticed that you still don't necessarily know everything. And you don't necessarily know everything accurately either. So that's kind of like a all right. Amber says you simply understand that you are a student makes you more. Yes. Okay, simply understanding you're a student makes you a more powerful teacher. It does, because you can't learn unless you're in a receptive state, unless you acknowledge the fact that there's more things to learn, right? Because you'll notice that like the people who don't evolve are the ones who think they know everything. And it's not that they think they know everything, it's just that they think that they're good. Like or like technically speaking, if you're not observing, then you think then you assume you know everything, like by proxy, if you know what I mean. Like that attitude of observing everything around you, not only your external world, but obviously your body, what's going on in your mind, your speech, your actions. Yeah, that's what we're going for. Mind, speech, and actions. Swadhyaya. That's another application of Swadhyaya in Raja Yoga. It's either self-study, like self-auditing, self-observation, or study of the spiritual texts. So yeah, if you're not doing that, if you're not paying attention to cause and effect, to action and results, then by consequence, you're assuming that everything is fine, that everything is known. And if you do that, then you can't evolve as rapidly as you would like to. So that's kind of a key strategy to incorporate into your spiritual path. It's kind of like a basic, actually, component of spirituality that we call skillful action. It means attending to all the causes, observing the results, and then adjusting your future actions based on those results. That's how you become skillful at action. So, that's not just good for developing good karma, but like actually succeeding in life and literally at any skill that you develop, whether that's playing guitar, singing, carpentry. I don't know, literally whatever it is. You're using this process unconsciously at the very least. So, yeah. So, yeah, I do recommend being a perpetual student as a strategy for your spiritual path. So, thank you, Amber, for that comment. Oh, Amber's got more. All right. Oh, wait. Sorry, I skipped over El Nino. Sorry. El Nino Semilla. All right. Dr. Miguel Ruiz. Good tips for the way of the warrior. Mostly the knowledge from a Toltec lineage is on. Oh, Carlos Castaneda. Okay. All right. Yeah, I've heard of what's that famous book by him? Is it Don Juan? Or is it it's not Don Quixote, is it? Actually, maybe it is. Okay, I've read like 3 pages of Don Quixote, but that's actually like a really cool like book idea. That's like a really cool spiritual book idea. It kind of like mimics the journey of the soul that we're all doing, right? We're all God, right? The all. We're all the infinite potentiality individuated into separate units of consciousness that become souls based on, as they collect experience, it's an individuated soul, at least in appearance. I don't know why I was avoiding the microphone. That's dumb. At least in appearance. And so we're all basically like little mini Don Quixotes. We're all passing through these stories that our minds invent. We take on these roles as characters, and we invent these dreams, these stories for ourselves. And Don Quixote is kind of like the hyperbole of that, where he's doing that within his own world. So he's like he has this takes on this fantasy of being like a chivalrous knight, being on a quest. At least as I remember the 3 pages I read. And yeah, so that's kind of like the spiritual path. It's a quest to bring an end to disillusionment. And we don't have to reject the story either in this modern age. We can actually embrace that and incorporate that into our spirituality. And make that the motivation and the appeal of progressing your consciousness, because that's really the whole point of incarnation. That's why God came down and individuated. It was to know itself, but also to enjoy the game, the thrill of the game, the thrill of having a new experience, a blank slate every lifetime. You know, unless you incarnate on a fourth density planet or like some other third density planet where like for some reason you do remember past lives, so you're like, oh yeah, no, I know what this whole game is about. On Earth, we have the unique experience of it actually being like a full entire game, where you do have actually complete and total free will here, in the sense that you have complete and total ignorance of the truth of reality. And that gives you the basis to make authentic decisions as a soul unit, completely authentic, because you don't know the rules of the game. You literally just appear as consciousness, and then it's just like, have a good time. Your life might suck. It might get better. Who knows? Maybe you'll learn something liberating, something profound, something mystical, which we all do. We do all encounter that, don't we? But yeah, I forget what I was talking about. We had Don Quixote. We had what was I talking about, guys? Journey of the Soul. Okay, yeah, no, remembering we're all playing this soul game, right? Third density planets, fourth density planets. Some of us remember, some of us don't. Yeah, so Earth is unique. It provides us that Don Quixote, that mint Don Quixote experience, right? But it really only becomes fun once you become conscious of it. When you're being unconscious Don Quixote, it sucks. You trip up over every rock. There's no way out. You're just like, what's the point of all this? Once you become conscious, a conscious creator within the dream, once you know the game and you know the metaphysics of how to like play it, that's when it becomes fun. That's when Don Quixote becomes conscious rather than delusional. All right? Because imagine that. Imagine you are role playing. But the playing club, for sure. All right. I don't know, guys. This is a fun live stream, I guess. I could keep going if you guys are interested. I've got like volumes more things to say, but people got to eat dinner and stuff. So just type yes in the comments. I don't know. Whatever. I'll keep going. Okay. Okay, Amber. Amber's on fire here. Skillful action is basically what it means to be human. Yes, but you have to become conscious of that. Otherwise, you're just on autopilot and you're just repeating the same mistakes and you're not evolving. That's why the Buddhist teachings are so important. And that's why it's important for me to talk about that here. Yeah, so Swadhyaya, remember that self-study. That's in the niyama of the Raja Yoga, the Ashtanga Yoga. Yeah, skillful action is basically what it means to be human. Yeah, that's what it means to live a great life. If you mean it in that context, that will give you a great life. All right, Jay says go to Centennial Park. Good idea, Jay. Okay, so we got Braves game. We got, I think you said like a museum or something, and Centennial Park. We're gonna meet some yogic girls for sure, Jay. Don't worry. I don't know. It's a spiritual event. It's gonna be whatever. You know, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. What was I gonna say? LOL. No, they give information to aligned energetic body from nature, similar to Taoist lineages. Okay, they give information to align to energetic body. Okay, very cool. I will definitely check out. Yeah, I just went on a whole rant of Don Quixote, and I didn't even like check to see if Carlos Castaneda was like the author, but I'm gonna guess by the fact that nobody stopped me that like maybe maybe that's the case. But yeah, I'll check out his other books for sure. El Nino, El Nino, Great Storm. By the way, I love that storm. That's what Donald Trump would say. The best storm. Oh my god, El Nino comes every 4 years. It's great, just like me. No, we don't want that. No, bad energy. We do. Knock on wood. He doesn't come every 4 years. No. Okay. The Southern El Nino oscillation cycle. No thanks. That's right. Dead. It comes every 4 years, I swear, just like me. Yeah. Anyway, guys. No, yeah, it's been a wild year though for me. I'm gonna keep going. My voice is still good to go. We're good. It's been a wild year for me, like kind of figuring out my life path. I don't know about you guys. Oh, the shirt's got to come off. It's so hot. It's so steamy in here. um, yeah. So for me, guys, my Saturn cycle ended. It's about 30 years. I'm sure all of you are familiar with Saturn return, but my Saturn is in Aquarius, and it literally just ended in March when Saturn entered Pisces. And so it was kind of crazy for me. Like I didn't even know this was happening. I kind of lost track of where Saturn was. But like the second I learned this, someone was like, I don't know, it's like Leo King or something who's like, yeah, Saturn's entering Pisces, guys. And right at that moment, there was like a huge definitive transition, like realization or something, where I was like, yeah, life's gonna head in a different direction now. And yeah, it's been a slow burn, obviously, in both directions, both leading up to that March point and afterwards. But like, it's a clear cut transition, guys. So astrology confirmed, really. So pay attention to what's going on in your Saturn return, like time in your life, age 29, age 30. There's going to be huge shakeups, life changing paradigms going on at that time. So, yeah, but it was really crystallized with that eclipse. I forget when it was. There was okay, so Pluto entered Aquarius as well. That's a huge shift for all of us because Pluto takes 300 years to go around the sun. The United States birthday occurred like I think, yeah, yeah. It was like yeah, I don't know. Pluto return. The Pluto return for the United States occurred. Yeah, so huge transition for all of us. And then we had those two eclipses, and that kind of really sealed in everything. But yeah, anyway, the point was it's bringing back. It brought back spirituality for me, my spiritual path. I let go of it forever to do YouTube, and I thought that's what I had to do to move forward. But at the end of all that, I was like, I'm kind of empty-handed now. This sucks. And so now I'm back on track, doing the spiritual path again, doing Buddhism again. Now I want to teach people directly, one-on-one. I want to get back into psychic tarot readings. I want to start offering that on my Acuity scheduling site, odysseyunderground.com/services. Check it out. So yeah, we're gonna start offering that. And yeah, things are looking up though, guys. My health is improving. I'm doing fun stuff again. I'm talking to people finally after being a hermit sage for years. And yeah, it's like Napoleon Dynamite. I don't know if you guys remember that movie, but his brother Kip, he's like, oh wait, is that Napoleon Dynamite? No, yeah, it is. He's like, I don't know about you, Napoleon, but things are going really great for me. So yeah, just let that sink into your consciousness. LaFonda and Kip, that whole thing. Yeah. Anyway, Okay. Anything else? Believe it or not, I'm clueless. You're clueless about Saturn. I thought everyone knew astrology these days. Isn't everyone just born knowing astrology nowadays? Isn't every spiritual girl an astrologer now? Nah, I mean, you would assume. But all right, sorry, I lost track of the comments here. Okay, you say enlightenment is imperfection and being happy about it. All right, wabi sabi, right, Luke? I don't know if Luke is still here, but he's from Kyoto, and I'm sure he knows what wabi sabi is. It's like the principle of imperfection in art, like as incorporated as beauty. Peace out, Luke. I hope I got that right. Um, yeah, no, that's actually a great spiritual concept. Embracing the learning process just brings deeper wisdom. Yeah, it does. Because if you resist it, like I have tons of times, then you don't learn anything and you just end up suffering needlessly. So it's kind of like, all right, here's a good concept. If life presents you with like suffering, like externally, just like have the mindset that this is just the fruition of some karma that you did either earlier in life or in a past life. And it's like, okay, I probably deserve this somehow. The present version of me doesn't deserve it. And I know that. Or maybe you do know that you deserve it. I don't know. It's up to you. But yeah, have that mentality and be like, okay, clearly I deserve it because it's happening. I made it happen somehow. Um, then either just sink into it, just let it be there and see what you can learn in that situation. See what actions it redirects you towards. Like maybe it's trying to get you to work on some other aspect of your life, try something new. Maybe it's trying to get you to realize some specific kind of wisdom, like it has for me. Like all the tribulations I've been facing this year, I realized they're actually priceless karmic blessings because I decided to turn them into wisdom. I started using them for investigation and for the purpose of overcoming and transcending. And I realized that the wisdom I gained from these things is going to be priceless wisdom for everyone else to learn from me. And the reason that's like especially important is because I know how rare, like how difficult it is to formulate the specific karmic scenarios that I've been dealing with. And I'm like, how many people get to experience like this specific set of shittiness, to put it in an uncouth barbarian way? And so that's kind of like the way you can start thinking about difficult situations that come your way and actually use them. So do it not only for yourself, not only for generating wisdom and development for yourself to the extent that you can, but also think about it as doing it for others. Being like, okay, if I do use it this way, in this productive way, then that gives me unique ability to share with others and help others. So, that's how you become like a life coach. That's how you become a healer of any kind is by gaining that kind of experience. So yeah, step one, be equanimous towards it. Find some mindset that makes you feel okay with it or just put up with it. Be like, fine, it's here. It's my karma, sure. And then convert that, transmute that like Full Metal Alchemist into priceless golden wisdom. Okay? Wabi sabi. You just gotta wabi sabi that. Jujitsu it. Judo. Some other Japanese thing. Okay, let's look at the chat. Divine transmutation. That's right. Transmutation as. Remember that, Amber? That's like the New Zealand slang. Okay, it's because okay, it's never because I never shut up. Okay. Yeah, I did lose track because of that. No, this is good. These are good feeds, Amber. Whoever you are. I'm just playing. I know who she is. Yeah, the universe does have a sense of humor. It's kind of I'm reluctant to acknowledge that because like most of the time I hate it. I've been hating it. I'm like, you suck. like so I'm like reluctant to enjoy any aspect of it because it's like I don't want to reward the universe for all of its past behavior towards me. Like, that's, like, the way my psyche has been relating to it. Obviously, I know that's incorrect ultimately, but, like, sometimes you just gotta work with a certain framework to progress. I'm not a monk, so it's like, I can't really handle the letting go thing. It's not gonna work. You could if you became a monk, probably. Just peace out, leave the world behind, be like, "Okay, none of this matters anymore. I don't have to get mad at the guy from 5th grade. I don't have to get mad at, like, the dumb thing my mother said the other week," you know? All that stuff. Just leave it all behind. It didn't work that way with me, unfortunately, but I learned from it all, and now I have more tools to help you guys with my spiritual coaching, odysseyunderground.com/services. Okay, skillful action. Okay, I went too far. All right, what else did I miss here? You're clueless about Saturn, yes. Amber's figuring out her life path. Great. Um, letting go is an art. Yeah, it's actually kind of like a jujitsu. At least for me. Actually, no, I think for everyone it's really a jujitsu. I think it's kind of hard or rare for people to be like, have the strength to just be like, yeah, I just got to let this go because I prefer the path to enlightenment. It takes a lot of dedication or resolve to do that. Or maybe like just a lack of profoundly like traumatic memories. And, trauma in the sense of like, it really sticks to you. Like maybe it's not like terrifying or like giving you PTSD, but maybe it's just like anger that you can't let go because you haven't had anything to like replace it with, anything good. So, yeah, I mean that's been a huge challenge for me personally, but I realized, sorry, I realized the way to get over that was actually to create a whole new life. Was actually through super accelerated living, as Bentinho Massaro would call it. Through totally diving into the manifest life, the dharma, the divine life path. This was the way. This is literally the only way. After all these months of experimentation, of struggling and trying to find my path this year, that's what I realized. I was like, okay, yeah, I got to get back to the monk thing. That's part of my dharma, not only for me but also for teaching others. But um sorry. I need more tea, clearly. Divine life path. What was I saying? Help me out in the comments. Spiritual community. Yes, that's good. Okay, yeah, I realized the only way to get over those past, just like a looming cloud of like regret and like anger and just lack of fulfillment, I would try to meditate. I would try to become a monk again because that's valuable to me. And I couldn't. I kept getting haunted by past memories, and it would just fill me with like either overwhelming sorrow or anger. And that would just occupy my whole day. There's nothing I could do to shake it. I was just like felt so slighted by the universe. And I was just like, no, I'm not gonna progress. This is messed up. I need you to fix this. So that was kind of like it didn't work. I I tried it out. But yeah, I always felt there's this missing piece of I need to continue my ministry of teaching people and interacting with people and meeting people. That aspect of life was something that, sorry, I don't know how I was doing this. I'm like spinning in my chair. Dumb. That aspect of life was something that I came here for. So I finally figured out how to put it all together, guys. That's kind of like the main thesis of this all. All four elements. Master of all four elements. I finally put them together and made the Philosopher's Stone. Okay. That happened yesterday. I know my whole year has just been like me thinking that. me, the whole year has been me thinking that. Just being like, oh, I finally figured out the thing. Cool. This is the way forward. But like literally now I think that's actually the case. So because eventually you get like a level of discernment or like just a base of knowledge where you're like, okay, this is like literally all that's left. and it's giving me results too. It's not just theoretically good or correct, it's literally giving me the results I'm looking for. All right. All right, all right. Just shoot me your email and and join the Art of Living program with me. All right, this terrible accent. I don't know. It's late. Sorry. That's supposed to be Matthew McConaughey. I did it better in my video at the end of Silence of the Heart. I kind of like I insert like humorous outros to see if people are like paying attention and actually like watching to the end of videos. And I made fun of Matthew McConaughey's Art of Living thing because like it was like every YouTube commercial. I feel like everyone's consciousness is emblazoned now with that, and it was funny at the time. Sorry, but he's always like, "Just shoot me your email and hop on down to the Art of Living program." And it's like, "You stole that from Ravi Shankar, you mother effer." I'm just kidding. It was cool. It was a great idea. It was actually like a huge, probably transformational shift for the collective, actually. So good on him. I love it. But yeah, I made the Philosopher's Stone this year, finally, uh, after much tribulation. And what else was it talking about? Okay, Amber's dead, and it's not because of the Trump Toltec joke anymore, but that was funny. Avatar vibes for sure. Okay, yeah, we're like that's kind of like the ideal paradigm, actually. I think in this new age is framing your story kind of like that. Okay, yeah, I will pare down on my dharmic mission, whatever that is for you, your holistic practice, your business, your path. Maybe it's just like a normal job, just like carpentry, um, dishwasher, I don't know, whatever. But like incorporate all four aspects of life, which actually the Hindus did portray. The what is it, Purushartha, I believe, or Chatursh Chaturashrama. I don't know, whatever, some Hindu word. And so there's like mukti, liberation. That's one. That's the ultimate goal of human life. And then there's dharma, which is like your true sort of calling. It's morality. It's the wisdom teachings. And artha is kind of like your business. How do you get by in the world? How do you generate money? How do you make a living? And then the third aspect is artha. So there's artha, there's mukti, there's dharma. The third one is kama. Oh, that's right. Sensuality, enjoying the pleasures of life. All right. So the grihastha yogi is going to make use of all four of these, actually. And that's the only kind of yogi that does this. They develop themselves through all four of those arenas. But yeah. So avatar your life. Try to master all four elements, but make sure you like pare down on one thing because that's the most efficient way to move forward, actually. And just kind of like keep those other things in your purview and maybe incorporate them as needed. And so in this case, what I mean is like manifestation, living the story. That's one thing. Try to master spirituality. Try to master your arta, obviously, your business, your craft, your career, your vocation. Try to master social life. I don't know, just try to get everything you can out of this Don Quixote realm, because that's the whole appeal of this. The third density realm is where we get to play this game, finally, in like its highest capacity. It's actually the funnest realm once you learn how to master it. It sucked for all of us up until now, but now that we get the cheat codes, now that we get the user manual, it can actually be the funnest possibility for adventure. So that's something I hope to make clear over the coming years to people. Not only for myself, I hope to live it as an example, and I'm starting that now actually. But that's something I want to give to everyone else too. I want to give everyone else the user manual to the Game Boy game, to the N64 game, because that takes us out of the sorrow and suffering of life, and it gives us life. Whether you want enlightenment or not, it doesn't matter because now you have joy, now you have excitement. And if you want to cap that off with ending samsara, then that's up to you. That's up to you and your karma, whether you feel that's appropriate or not. But yeah. Amber says, "You're so cool." I try. See this? I try. I'm part of the Brotherhood of the Great Temple of Light, and that's why like those people in like the Mummy. That dude's got his like tattoo in his face, and they're like the keepers of the temple or something. No, I'm not that yet. I plan on being one someday once I visit the Great Pyramids or something, but not yet. Okay, slayed like a dragon. What was funny? Did I say something funny? I want to master my own happiness. That's right. Yeah, happiness. Let's well that's kind of what I was saying. Like the avatar template is kind of a good way to bring about happiness. That's actually the reason for it. Is like what's the perfect blend of elements in my life that's going to create the capstone of happiness as the underlying sort of current. And that's why I'm doing it, actually. That's the whole secret. The whole secret is keep evaluating, keep experimenting until you find that perfect framework that gives you not just contentment, but like joy and excitement. And you can have that without end, actually, in this realm. If you follow the magical template, let's call it the magical blueprint. That's the whole premise of Abraham Hicks' law of attraction. It's not actually, I don't think it's emphasized enough, really, in its true form in this, in this modern, I don't know, modern epoch, this turning point of the spiritual age, the age of Aquarius. But like I said, that's something I want to clarify for everyone. And obviously, I want to hit the long lost spiritual paths as well. Nobody talks about the Buddha's original teachings, the Theravada scriptures, but literally everything else is based on it. It's very important to get back to. So I want to revive Raja Yoga, the Ashtanga Yoga of Patanjali. Not many people talk about that vehicle, at least on YouTube. So, I want to popularize it, is what I'm saying. Like, sure, there's plenty of scholars out there, or like people who keep a low profile, but I want to make it big. Just like non-dualities become big, just like freaking aliens and everything else in the new age that's popular, sound healing, whatever, Reiki, whatever. I want to make these things, I want to make Buddhism great again. Make Buddhism great again. And I'll come back in 4 years. Yo, Jeremy, what up, dude? I'm still trucking after an hour. I'm powering through this voice degeneration for the masses. We're doing it for the team here. I've got good content coming out of me, so like I'm just gonna keep going. Literally have, if you guys are interested in the Theravada teachings, very high level. So I don't know if you're up for a philosophical challenge, but you can get all of the original scriptures on dhammatalks.org with Metaphorist Monastery. That's the my master, the guy who initiated me into Buddhism through his book, who never met me in person. It was a book initiation. And he's great. He's very brilliant. I do believe he has attained arahantship, full enlightenment. But challenge me. Challenge you to a duel? All right, what'd you say? Joy fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Excellent. Excellent declarations, Amber French. Amber French is the MVP here, guys. Are you gonna let her beat you, guys? No, it's okay. I don't know how much left I have to talk about, but I do have to like pack for my trip tomorrow, so that is important. I don't know what song you're talking about, mate. But yeah, no, I'm not wearing the lapis necklace right now. I probably should have, because Vishuddha is good for speaking. I'm actually wearing Swadhisthana, the sacral chakra, And that's good for self-worth, guys. It is. Don't worry, I cleared it beforehand, or at least I tried to. I had anxiety at the time, so I don't know if that worked. What's going on here? But yeah. No, I got a pack for Georgia soon. It's getting late here. All right. Soda light. No, yeah, this is the soda light here. I'm sorry. We have the proprietary flower of life pattern. I'm sure all of you know about this from Drumvalo Melchizedek or some other mystical folk. But yeah, this is actually literally you'll see this pattern in the ancient world. Specifically, um, there's like a famous one where it's engraved on the back of a megalith at the Osirion, I want to say in Egypt. And it's just casually on the inside, hidden on the inside wall of this like, you know, 2-ton block. And yeah, that's a whole story on its own. I'm sure a lot of people already know about that sacred geometry stuff. I talked about it slightly in my Metatron's Cube video, one of my seminal YouTube works that really popped off. Everyone loved it. And I talked about, what is his name? Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman, Severus Snape, aka the Half-Blood Prince and Squidward, too. He's the Half-Blood Prince and Squidward. So, yeah, no, that was a good video. I do talk about sacred geometry there. The Tree of Life as well. That's right. But that reminds me. You know what? I'm gonna cap it off here. I'm just gonna close with this because an hour is a long time, and I gotta go do stuff. I was in the middle of writing my book. I'm actually very close to finishing my book about Melchizedek. I don't know if y'all remember that. I started that a while back. My plan was to finish it this year, and I'm really close, and it's really good. I'm very excited to get it out there. I think it's going to change the collective consciousness, to be honest. Like, that's the level of research and swag I put in there. Swag. Um, Conscious thought, spiritual. I don't know. I don't know how to phrase it. Basically, I create a linkage between Christianity and spirituality. So there's several reasons why it's going to be very effective. I think it's going to be very popular too. It's kind of like a David Wilcock type thing. Um, if I may say so immodestly. But you're studying had swagger. All right, cool. But yeah, no, I'm gonna get back to that for sure, guys. I want to become an author. I think that'd be a sweet thing to put in the tool belt and you know, pop off this whole social media branding thing. And I'm just excited about the research. It's super fun. I highly recommend trying to write a book sometime. It's a fun project. Anyway, guys, I touched on a lot of stuff. I hope I have a speaking voice for tomorrow when I'm flying on the plane and talking to nobody, I guess. But yeah. All right, I think that's it. Nothing else important in the chat except that Amber says she will try and study and Tree of Life. Cool. All right, guys. Well, thanks to the 5 people who've been, you know, in and out. I don't know why it's only 5. Like, did YouTube shut off my notifications for people? Like, where y'all at? Do I suck more than I think? Does nobody want to hear me talk? Is that the truth? Oh, hey Beth. Right on. Cool. Add me on Instagram, Beth, if you haven't yet. That's kind of where I hang out with everyone. The other 8 people from my channel that I know. Jeremy, yeah, peace out, man. It was fun doing my, you know, coaching session with you today, talking about Buddhism. And Amber, yes, thanks for all the banter. It helped out a lot. And peace. Is this?